within DAFA alone, he saw something that was lacking in our organization, and he created an entirely new mentorship program centered around preparing our first years for recruiting. And initially it began with like a general information session, but then it capstoned with actual mock interviews. And everyone I talked to regarding this, they thoroughly enjoyed participating in it. And some even went so far as to say that they wouldn't have gotten their jobs if it wasn't for Matt. I think that alone speaks to his impacts and his dedication.
Matt is definitely a work hard, play hard kind of person. When we were in team settings, he was very much about getting the work done. But outside of that, he is so fun and so just such a pleasant person to be around, and is very much of an includer. So was always including people from all kinds of different backgrounds into his experience, into him and his family.
He's not afraid to kind of stand up and kind of speak his opinion, not in a way that he thinks he's right, wrong, or indifferent, just providing his insight, and what comes with that insight is like a suggestion or proposal or solution to whatever he's complaining about or he's speaking up about. And I think a lot of people, when they see something wrong, they kind of identify as wrong, but don't take that extra step. And like, hey, well, this is what we should be doing. And I think for me, the reason I remember that, because I'm pretty much the opposite. I'm always like, hey, this is wrong. And sometimes I won't really have like a good solution. I just want to complain. Whereas Matt's always just very solution oriented and just kind of, I don't know, I kind of take a step back sometimes. Like I should probably be more like that guy.
One thing I will always remember about Matt is this year at the Whitewater Center, when we all went as second years, there was the 100-foot hawk jump that I'm sure everyone remembers. And I was a bit scared to go on this. I don't really love the feeling of jumping off things, but mentioned to my team that there was a potential I would do it. And Matt really took that with him and ran with it. And from there on out became like my coach for the hawk jump. And so all day he's like, come on, Meg, like we are here to take risks. We are here to grow ourselves. Like this is a metaphor for life. And so I ended up doing the hawk jump. I almost bailed on the stairs, waiting there to do it. But with Matt's encouragement and potentially some guilt in there as well, did it. And so I will always think of Matt when I think about that hawk jump.
He's the guy who shows true friendship with the international students who has no idea about living in the United States. This baby is our first baby. The very next day of the delivery, his family showed up. They gave us all the stuff that we need to take care of our baby. We didn't quite know the importance of their items, but then after 2 and 3 weeks later, we found that all the items are very precious to take care of the baby.
So what I'm most proud of at Fuqua is I saw kind of a need to stand up a program within DAFA to help mentor all the first years coming to business school, mentor them with the complement of all the programming that the CMC does, that the clubs do, like the consulting club, the tech club. I felt like there was a need to try to share how do you communicate our experiences as veterans. And we've all had different experiences. A lot of us have combat experience, have combat leadership experiences. And I truly believe those are very valuable to firms. But I think it's on the veteran to really learn how to translate that. And that was really difficult for me. And I wanted the first years that were coming in behind us to have an easier time. And I think that DAFA was able to come together and do that.